Oh shit, I didn't change the name of the video. Anyways, it's an interesting essay today. We're gonna read an interesting essay. Let's go, baby. Where are we? Okay, we have completed this one yesterday. Also, I need to start. Open that thing, right? Where is it? Oh, here it is. Open up. Bitch. Alright. Book notes. Oh, fuck off. I got that. Ads? Seriously, dude? I didn't download this browser for ads, man. Life is short. I've done that as well. Yeah. Economic inequality. Interesting. Oh my god, this is big. This is really big. That's what she said. Okay, I'm sorry. Economic inequality. January 2016. So that's like 10 years ago, man. 10 years ago. Let's see what it was like in 2016. Since 1970s, economic inequality in the US has increased dramatically. And in particular, the rich have gotten a lot richer. Nearly everyone who writes about this topic says economic inequality should be decreased. Same with India. Completely same but worse. The economic inequality is very high. Very, very high. I'm interested in this question because I was one of the founders of the company called Y Combinator that helps people start startups. Almost by definition, if a startup succeeds, its founders become rich. Which means by helping startup founders, I've been helping to increase economic inequality. If economic inequality should be decreased, I shouldn't be helping founders. No one should be. That's wrong. That's completely wrong. Because you help founders, let them make money, let them get rich. The only problem in here is that the people who are working, they must have enough money, right? Like, you have 100 rupees or $100, but at least let others have $30. Every other person have $30. And make sure that even if all the rich people in the country unite, the wealth they have must always be a small part of what it could be when all other people combine their wealth. It's not like the only richest people will be controlling 40% of the country's wealth. That is bad, right? You have it, you can have the anomalies or you can have rich people, but the money should also get into other people. An average person must also have enough money to actually beat rich people when they are combined together, right? That's the important part of reducing economic inequality. I don't know what this is, right? I'm completely against this. Okay, let's get back. But that doesn't sound right. What's going on here? What's going on that while economic inequality is a single measure, or more precisely two, variation in income and variation in wealth, it has multiple causes. Many of these causes are bad, like tax loopholes, drug addiction. Yeah, this shouldn't happen, right? Tax loopholes, don't make them happen. Let the rich pay the money. I know they'll get out of the country if it happens, but come on. You can't let them, you can have them all. There should be some variation, like rules which will say you can't leave the country. Maybe some restrictions like that, just for the sake of, or maybe make taxes affordable. That's a better way. instead of completely removing them or making them so high that people start finding loopholes. Make taxes affordable. What's wrong in that? And drug addiction. But some are good, like Larry Page and Sergey Brin starting the company. You used to find things online. If you want to understand economic inequality, and more importantly, if you actually want to fix the bad aspects of it, you have to tease apart the components. And yet, the trend in nearly everything written about the subject is to do the opposite, to squash together the aspects of economic inequality as it were a single phenomenon. Sometimes this is done by ideological reasons. Sometimes it's because the writer only has very high level data, so draws conclusions from that, like the proverbial drunk who looks for his keys under the lamppost instead of where he dropped them, because the light is better there. Okay, that's a cool analogy. So you're saying that people are actually trying to find the answers in the wrong places. Okay. Sometimes it's because the writer doesn't understand the critical aspects of inequality, like the role of technology in wealth creation. Much of the time, perhaps the most of the time, writing about economic inequality combines all three. Come on. Whatever you say, Elon Musk doesn't deserve to have $1 trillion, $1 trillion, while other people survive on like nothing. The most common mistake people make about economic. Okay, I'll just do something in here. This is screen record is bad. Source must be. Where's the source? You need to add browser. This is better. That doesn't. Anyways, okay. Mine's 3. Sometimes it's done for ideological reasons. Sometimes it's because the writer only has very high level data and so draws conclusions from that. Like a proverbial drunk who looks for this. Okay, this is fun. The most common mistake people make about economic inequality is to treat it as a single phenomenon. The most naive version of which is the one based on the pie fallacy. The rich get rich by taking money from the poor. That's fucked up. It's not how it works. Usually this is an assumption people start from rather than conclusion they arrive at by examining the evidence. Sometimes the pie fallacy is stated explicitly. Those at the top are grabbing an increasing fraction of the nation's income. So much of larger share that what's left over is for the rest is diminished. Other times it's more unconscious, but the unconscious form is very widespread. I think because we grow up in a world where pie fallacy is actually true, to catch wealth is a fixed pie that's shared out, and if one person gets more, it's at the expense of the other. It takes a conscious effort to remind oneself that real world doesn't work that way. In the real world, you can create wealth as well as taking it from others. A woodworker creates wealth. He makes chair and you willingly give him money in return for it. A high frequency trader does not. He makes a dollar only when someone in the other end of the trade loses a dollar. If the rich people in the society got that way by taking wealth from the poor, then you have the degenerate case of economic inequality, where the cause of poverty is the same as the cause of wealth. But instances of inequality don't have to be instances of degenerate case. If one woodworker makes 5 chairs, another makes none, second woodworker will have less money, but not because anyone took anything from him. Even people sophisticate